Welcome back, everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler, or just Mr. 4K is fine. I just call myself Mr. 4K, short for Mr. 4K, but yeah, it's Mr. 4K Upscaler. Anyway, let's just get to the nitty and gritty of this article because it is really strange to see that the Forbes cannot see what Xbox is doing, like what Microsoft is doing, because Forbes is all about the business and stock market, right, stuff like that. And I recently made a video about Xbox, and I said Xbox is not dead. Xbox is just evolving as a brand, right? So you have to think of Xbox not as a console, and it just lives off of selling consoles. All right. First of all, you never want to bet all your money just on a hardware and on a console, because you're never going to survive as a company. Well, look at Dreamcast, right? Sega. If you just bet your money on a one thing, you should never bet all your chips on just one thing. But anyway, let me read this article from Forbes. I think this was posted on today, January 29th, 2026. So let me read this article, and then after I finish reading the article, I will give you my opinions and thoughts on it. Okay, so let's read this really quick. You can almost set your watch to it at this point. Another Microsoft quarterly report showing Xbox with double-digit year-over-year hardware revenue declines, usually in the realm of about 10-30%. In the last report, the figures were 32% decrease alongside 9% drop in Xbox overall revenue. Now, what they're basically saying is that the hardware sales has dropped down to 32% and 9% drop of the Xbox Game Pass service and the software sales. It's not a great mystery why this is happening. Over the years, Microsoft has put less and less emphasis on needing to actually own an Xbox to play games for a while. That was a pitch for streaming many Xbox titles on other devices, from smart TV to tablets now. That's evolved into Xbox putting nearly all of its first-party games on rival systems like Switch, especially PlayStation, either on day one or after an unknown amount of time. Then there's price hikes, which Microsoft blames on marketing conditions. Sony too has to deal with this with increase of their own, but they are not seeing 32% hardware drop. Not nor are their prices as absurd as $800 for an Xbox Series X. Its more powerful PS5 Pro costs less than that. All of this may normally lead to a conclusion that Xbox is going to phase out of its hardware business and turn into more of a publisher subscription service with Game Pass and cloud streaming and other console publishing alone. But so far, as we know, that's not happening. Well, it's not true, but I'll get to that. Xbox President Sarah Bond said back in November 2025, the hardware is absolutely core to everything that we do at Xbox. And the new Xbox will be a powerful experience that also enables people to take their library with them. Many have interpreted that as a Switch like hybrid console, but it's clearly also leaning into the multi-platform hardware idea even further. All right, Forbes, I'm so disappointed in you, Forbes, that you didn't do your homework as well as I did. But that's fine. Maybe I should be working for Forbes. All right, so let me give you my reaction to what I just read from Forbes. All right. Here's what Forbes missed out on. It's like forest for the trees. And at one point in time, even I missed out on forest for the trees. And what am I talking about? Forbes is only looking at the Xbox as a console brand, as a console business. What Forbes doesn't understand is they're not just a console business brand. Okay? And throughout last year, they have clearly they have emphasized on what they're trying to do. They're not trying to have any red lines. I know there's a little bit of an innuendo to what Phil Spencer meant by red lines, but what he was basically saying by red lines is we're not putting any barriers. We're open to anyone who wants it. Okay? But our main focus is not only going to be consoles. Now, they were also referring to what Sarah Bond says about this hybrid PC, hybrid console, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be very powerful and, of course, very expensive, as PlayStation 6 will be as well. So, but then why the console, right? If they're not in a business of console, why make a console? Forbes, I can't believe you can't see the forest for the trees. The console is just a choice. Forbes, and everybody who's watching this, when they're talking about this hybrid PC console, they're talking about a choice. It's a choice, just like Asus ROG Li, that's a $1,000 handheld device. It's a choice. Just like MetaQuest, if you want to play Xbox and MetaQuest 3, it's a choice. Right? They're giving you a choice to integrate the entire experience of Steam, Ubisoft, EA Play, Xbox Game Pass, all of these games combined together into a one hybrid universal hardware that it's there for those of you who wants to have one. Now, if you want to build a PC, you can build a PC. If you want to buy a gaming laptop, you can buy a gaming laptop. You see, what Xbox is doing, they're not forcing anything. They're just simply saying, yeah, we're working. Sarah Bond says, yeah, we're working on a hardware, next generation hardware, and it will be expensive, but it's not mandatory. It's a choice. Meaning, like, you don't need to have that console to play a specific, like, game. So I don't understand how Forbes cannot understand this. I recently made a video, which is on my front YouTube page, where I specifically talked about this. Where I said Xbox, it's not dead. It's just evolving as a brand. I clearly emphasize on why that is. Xbox is not dead. It's just evolving. But the Xbox main focus is not just a console. Anyone who's betting all of their chips on just one thing, it's guaranteed they're going to fail. Like PlayStation is betting all their chips on a console, and that's a big gamble. And do you really think that the Sony will stay that same course, where they're going to bet all their chips on just the console? And you don't think they will not focus on bringing their games to PC, which they already are doing that, bringing their games to PC? You don't think their focus is not going to be on the PlayStation Plus and integrate PlayStation Portal with the PlayStation Plus or whatever future PlayStation Portal next generation Portal device, let's say they call it Portal 2, comes out? You don't think that their focus is not going to be on a business part of it, of investing into cloud data centers and investing into service and sales of games? This is what I understand about Forbes. Like, how could they not see that it's not just a Microsoft? Even Sony doesn't want to bet all their chips into a PlayStation 6 or into a console. That's not a good profit to just focus on the consoles. Especially when you know that you have to make these consoles very expensive and you have to sell them very expensive. So you know it's not going to be a big what's the word I'm trying to use? You know you're not going to have like a lot of customers buying that. You're going to have some special interest of customers buying it, but not everyone will be buying it because they can't afford it. So I just don't understand how Forbes just, doesn't understand like what Xbox is doing. And what's funny is PlayStation, it's also kind of doing the same thing. Right now, you don't need to buy a PlayStation 5 console to play PlayStation 5 games. You just need a PlayStation Portal. You can get one for $200 or maybe cheaper for $150, you know, which is a pretty good deal. For $150, you're good to go. Then you just subscribe to PlayStation Plus and you're good to go. And the games that you buy from PlayStation Store, you can play directly on your PlayStation Portal. So what do you think Sony is doing? And all those Sony games, they're available on the PC. They're trying to contain their business. They're trying to survive. As a company, they're trying to survive because they know they can't just bet all their chips on just a console. Once upon a time, that was profitable back in 90s and early 2000 with the PlayStation 2, of course, and 2001, Microsoft with the Xbox. Sure, it was a big profit back then, but that was like 26 years ago. That's an ancient history. So I'm really surprised by Forbes that they made this article, and they can't understand like in which direction Xbox is going. I see so many videos of people complaining about Xbox. Oh, Xbox is done. Xbox, it's over. And they just don't see it. And I don't know how they cannot see it. It's almost like a forest for the trees. I mean, I just explained it here, but I also explained it on my previous video, which is on my front YouTube page. I actually might replace that one with this one, because this one, it's short video versus the other one, it's like 40 minutes. So, yeah, I disagree with this article. Clearly, whoever wrote this article, Paul Tassi. Come on, Paul. You should know better, man. Why don't you watch my video, Paul? Mr. Tassi, Paul Tassi. I should be the editor for Forbes. I should be working for Forbes because I'm not even involved in stock market, buying stock and business and financial business and all that. I'm not even involved in that because I don't have the money to buy any stock. But even a guy like me, who is not, focused on business and financial business and stock market and all that, even I understand business better and stock market better, the way this guy it's writing this article. No offense, but seriously, how could you not see what Xbox is doing? I'm sure if Phil Spencer ever sees this video, he'll be like, you got it, Mr. 4K. You got it. You figured it out. Actually, it wasn't even that hard to figure out, Phil Spencer, because this was just, like I said, very, very obvious. It was very obvious which direction Microsoft is going, and you guys are going in a direction that it's a smart direction, survival direction, right? Because you have to think about survival. How are you going to survive? Yes, you want to make gamers happy, but at the same time, you want to survive as a company. Because if you don't survive as a company, well, how are you going to sustain your business? You have to file bankruptcy, and that's it. But anyway, 15-minute video. This is the shortest video I ever made. But yeah, I disagree with Forbes. They just don't see it the way I see it, because their main focus is on thinking of Xbox as a console brand, like they live off of consoles. They're not living off of consoles. I mean, that was very much explained last year. That's why I sold my Xbox. That's why, I traded in my Xbox, because I knew that pretty much the Xbox is over and done with. Now, I did enjoy my Xbox. I traded in my Xbox for Nintendo Switch 2, which I enjoy. But yeah, my Xbox Series X and S has served me well in past 5 years. Or was it 6 years? In the past 6 years. And I enjoyed it. I did. I had a great time with the Xbox Series X. It served me well. It served well this channel. I didn't have any issues with the console. But when I look at where Xbox is right now, when I look at the company and where the company is at right now, I just felt like I don't need it. I got two gaming laptops, which are more than powerful than Series X and Series S, and I'm more happy with my two gaming laptops. They can handle games in an ultra-wide screen, much better performance than Series X and S, so I don't really need it. But look, the console is there as a choice. It'll always be there as a choice. I want to end the video by saying this. The console will always be there as a choice, but it's not going to be their main focus. Okay, that's what you guys need to understand. Their main focus is service, Game Pass, and software. That's where they're going to make most of their money. It's through Game Pass, with Forza Horizon 6, with Fable, and many other games coming out, Gears of War, Emergence Day, the next generation version that's coming out. That's where they're going to make their money, through Game Pass, and selling the software to PlayStation, Nintendo Switch 2, and whoever else wants it. So that's their main focus. Console and this new upcoming, hybrid console is just a choice. Just like Asus ROG Li, $1,000 Asus ROG Li, the most expensive one. It's a choice. Me personally, I have the a $600 version. The less powerful, but it's powerful enough to handle, 720p, 1080p. So I use it once in a while. But I have it. I still have it. I have my Asus ROG Li. I use it from time to time. But anyway, I disagree with Forbes. Forbes obviously doesn't see what I see, and I don't know how they cannot see what I see, And I'm surprised that they didn't do their research to understand that Xbox is not just focused on living off of selling consoles. They're focused on surviving as a company, as a brand. Phil Spencer's trying to, save the business and the brand. And he said that on one of his interviews. I think it was Ryan McCaffrey, when they were doing an interview. Ryan McCaffrey. Might have been Paris. Paris, you guys know Paris. He might have been doing an interview with Paris, and Paris asked him, and he said, well, I want to preserve, first and foremost, I have to think about the business, and my responsibility as a CEO is to save the company, the brand, to sustain it. Even though, sometimes you have to make decisions like, firing people, laying off people. We never take pride in that. We never take, we don't cherish that. We don't enjoy that, but it's a necessary for us to do that so we can sustain ourselves and our budget and our income and our business. This is just business, nothing personal. People need to understand. It's just a business. And it took me a while to understand this, but, I had a wake up call. I think it was October. I just kind of oh, I get it. Honestly, I just woke up one day. I was I totally understand what Phil Spencer is doing, what Sarah Bond is doing, what Satya is doing, what Matt Booty is doing. I understand what they're doing. I get it. I understand it. And I made so many videos explaining this, including this one. All right, so the video is 20 minutes. I lied. Okay, that's it. This is the longest I will go is 20 minutes. All right, so it's 20 minutes. Okay. I will see you guys on the live stream. I will be doing a Space Marine 2 live stream at midnight, so I will see you guys later on at midnight. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving comments, becoming members, subscribing. I appreciate all of that. Thank you. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on this article from Forbes? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You let me know. What do you think? All right. Thank you for watching.